Hi Vibers, welcome back to Tea Time with Jess. I am Jess, the founder, the creator, the she does it all of High Vibe Herbals, a company that I didn't mean to start, a company that my ancestors said, look, we're doing this, okay? And it's happening through you, okay? And so I've answered the call, okay? I've answered the call. And so in this video, we're going to talk about ancestors. We're going to talk about them listening. We're going to talk about the plants that my ancestors have shown to me. I'm gonna give you the real tea, okay? That's what it is. Today, the tea that I'm drinking on is my hibiscus jasmine tea. And you see that I put these are key limes that I put in there this time around because I didn't have any lemons. I had key limes. So, all right. So now I am coming back from a really nice event. If you're following me on Instagram, if you're not, I am at High Vibe Herbals. I had my first in-person tea alchemy workshop. Man, I feel like it was definitely monumental. It was really good. It was really fun. I was just a very small part of a longer event hosted by a dear friend of mine. Her name is Natalie Brown. She is the founder of Strong Girls on Fire, as well as a wonderful group that she runs on Facebook, which is called the Strong Women, Women's Empowerment and Wellness Group. And she does host a lot of events. She does it through Eventbrite. If you are in the Orlando area, Central Florida area, and ever want to come around for one of her events, they're always really fun. Okay. It was so good. Here is a clip of what it was like.
We're walking on the ocean, turn water into wine. We bury our emotion and pretend that we're just fine. The only way to live now is to know you're gonna fly. Don't listen to the lying lies and their lies. I know I'm superwoman, I know I'm strong. I know I've got this 'cause I've had it all along. I'm phenomenal.
Okay. During the event, I opened up with saying, welcome to the portal of emotional healing and emotional transformation and emotional alchemy. And I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, that sounds pretty serious. So that was pretty cool for me to actually say out loud in front of people. And then I also went on to say, I am a descendant of the Maroons of Jamaica, the Maroon tribe. And it's true, I am. But the fact that I'm claiming it now, I said, what? Okay, go me. Because when I do this stuff, when I'm in front of the camera, when I'm in front of people speaking, as a teacher, I do have that experience of public speaking. And even just as an entrepreneur over the last few years and just having to speak to people, speak to the public. But sometimes things just flow that like I'm not even thinking of. And I surely was not going to introduce myself as such. And I'm like, you know what? The ancestors have called and I have answered the phone. Okay, I have answered it. And it's time to really embody who I am and where I come from and who I come from. It's time for me to be it, to be that. And so, yeah, I said that and I'm like, wow. I know like I have a pretty good direction of where I'm going with High Vibe Herbals. And the thing about us Maroons is that we work with vibrations, okay? You know Jamaica. Everything is about, feeling irie, which means just feeling good, working with, high vibrations and just like, you just want to be well, right? You want to feel well, you want to be well. So here's some information about the Maroons. The Maroon tribe is made up of many different indigenous peoples. And back when people were being transported to Jamaica for enslavement by the British, everyone would hide. We had a safe compound within the mountains. And my ancestors fought back against those who were trying to oppress us. And it became so difficult for the British to enslave us. So that basically they had to work with us. And I can't imagine like being around during that time and you're, removed from your home, or Jamaica is your home and now people are taking it over. And that happened all across the world. All across the world. And I say this to say, your ancestors have been reaching out to you, right? Our ancestors are in us. They speak through our desires. They speak to us through the foods that we eat, through the foods that we have been told probably not to eat. Okay. They are here. We are the descendants. They run through our bones, our bodies. Spirit never dies. The body decays, right? The body becomes food for the ground, right? Spirit is eternal. And now our ancestors are still here. Ancestor veneration. If you don't know what that is, look it up, find some information on that. It's important to recognize, to honor. This is where my people have walked, what my people have been through. And now I am here to carry this torch. Now, what will I do to pave a way to bring goodness, good fortune, good karma onto my name, my family name, onto my future, the future of my family? We are becoming ancestors ourselves. What are we going to do with this life that we have been given here and now? We have to look back. We have to practice Sankofa. Now that I've used the word, I got to shout out my girl, Sarah Makiba Days. We are my co-host of Keep Expecting Miracles podcast. Follow us on YouTube and all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Audible. We have a wonderful interview that we did with Sarah Makiba Days. She is the daughter of Ron and Natalie Days from Gullah Gullah Island. So that's where you may know the name. But she has a book. I'm getting the name because I don't want to butcher it. She's the author of Sankofa Shadow Work, Diaries of a Diasporic Diviner. I'm so grateful because she provided Alyssa and I with excerpts of the book. And man, it was so good. It is so good. I cannot wait to receive my copy. And I highly recommend that you read it if you are interested in this and becoming closer with your ancestors and learning more about how to allow yourself to be open to the reception and receptive and responsive and to have this resonance with the spiritual realm. Okay. I have to say that when my spirituality is so much a part of me that I was worried would be rejected, that I've tried to even keep it separate from this company, from High Vibe Herbals. But this is Tea Time with Jess, and I got to tell you all the tea. Ancestors are a real thing. Ancestors coming to visit. You've dreamed your family members that have passed away. In Jamaica, it's so funny. In Jamaica, we say that, and my mom says it all the time. She'd be like, yeah, my mommy dreamed me. That your ancestors are dreaming you because they're coming to visit you in your dreams. And that has happened to me my entire life. That has happened to me over the last few years. And because I have been through such an intense emotional turmoil situations over the last few years, it almost brings me to tears right now as I even talk about it, the way that God has allowed us to be with our ancestors in this physical realm, to experience them. What? I was praying the other day, and it was just a prayer of gratitude. Thank you, God, for making room for our ancestors, for my ancestors to be able to come through and help me. Thank you. And then I had this vision of the ripping of the veil, the veil that ripped when Jesus Christ was crucified. And you know what words flow through? The ripping of the veil was not just us being able to communicate with God without having to go and see a prophet. It was God opening and unlocking the spirit realm for us all to experience. I'm getting emotional while we're here. And it's beautiful. That's beautiful. Like how I said this during my last recording, how sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. And though that is a love song that pertains to another person, I'm sure it was written to, for another person. But that song often comes to mind when I just think about how gracious God really is. How beautiful our world can be when you just let it, when you allow it, when you let it be. So one of the things that I've asked for God to do is to make my life a testament, make it a testimony. I said, God, I know I kept myself in the darkness. I kept myself in the struggle mentally, physically. I know what it is like, what it looks like. I have seen what it is like to be stuck in hell, a hell of your own creation. When I tell you that those negative entities are so subtle, so subtle. This is why I drink tea all day. Because when you have your tea in your top of the brown water bottle, when you have your flowers that you're drinking, when you are drinking the everlasting water of Christ, what? You are protected, okay? You are protected against anything and everything. And just these plants, when I'm not able to just sit out in nature all the time and all day, you know, if you're cooped up in your office or wherever you got to work, if you're just, you know, these plants come through and they are a reminder, hey, remember there's beauty outside of this. Hey, remember, this is not all there is to life. That's what they are. I want to say shout out to my very good friend, Nicole, for gifting me this beautiful flower that's in my hair right now. I forgot what it's called, y'all. She loves Hawaii and Hawaiian culture. And I'm just so grateful for this. I was like, you know what? This will be good for me to wear during this recording with my beautiful dress here. So the ancestors reached out to me and reminded me about sorrel, about hibiscus. And so, you know, that's what I sip on, drink on all the time. That it's my mission to bring to the world. That is why I want you to go onto my Google, find my listing on Google, High Vibe Herbals on Google Maps. Or just type me into Google and leave a review for my business. If you have ever tried any of my lemonades, whether that's the hibiscus jasmine, the lavender jasmine, or the self-love lemonade, please go on there and please write a review, because I'm taking this lemonade nationwide. Okay. This lemonade nationwide. I want there to be a day. There will be a day where you are on a road trip and you're like, you know what? I need something to drink. And you, my wonderful viewer, who is also health conscious because you're here, I know you are. You're like, I don't want no Coke. I don't want no Pepsi. I don't want no Red Bull. Okay, I just want some tea. Damn, all they got is black tea. I don't need that either. High Vibe lemonade. We got that. We're going to drink that. Okay. I want you to go into the gas station. I want you to step into a 7-Eleven. And I want you to see High Vibe lemonade on the shelf, and you grab that. And you'd be like, oh, this is so good. I'm so thankful. Look, because that's what I want. When I'm on road trips, sometimes I'm like, well, I already drank coffee and I don't really want, you know, the other things. I don't necessarily need, you know, any more caffeine or, you know, other stuff. Like, I want to drink something that also has some benefits, also has some health benefits. And that's High Vibe lemonades. Okay. While you're driving, shift into a feeling of joy, shift your inner state through the goodness of the plants while you're driving. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a hot tea. It'll be right in a bottle, ready and waiting for you. So to help me manifest that, I would love for you to write a review. You can talk about this YouTube video. If you've never tasted High Vibe lemonade, you can say that you can't wait to taste it. Okay. But anyway, that's my spiel about the lemonades. I want to talk about the ancestors reaching out. Okay. I just have to take a moment. You know, I got to take moments. When I'm recording Tea Time with Jess, I always got to take moments. Okay. And it's because everything is just so good, so good. And I have to really gather the words to be able to like really express it in a way that even makes sense. All right. The Nottoway Plantation fire. The place burnt down to the ground. I don't think too much needs to be said about how the Black society feels about that. You may know how I feel about that. Joyful, yes. Why? I'll tell you. If you're watching this and you're confused about why someone would feel joyful about that, I'm gonna tell you. On Facebook, in one of my groups where it's a soulful group, so I was very, very surprised that I would see someone who says, makes you wonder why so many people are okay with destruction. I was very confused to see that in this type of group, because I'm like, you in this soulful group, you should understand why, right? So I'm going to tell you what I saw this person. So let me get you caught up on what we talked about prior, what I saw. Basically, this person, as I said, was upset about the fact that people were celebrating the destruction of a building. Get that? I understand. Like, no, it's not just a building. That's what it is. She goes on to say to other people, well, if this burns down and if other plantations burn down, then we're erasing our history, which I don't think slavery is her history, or I don't think she's on the enslaved side of that. She says that we're erasing history, basically, if we are okay with these things burning down. And so I'm like, no, we're not erasing the history. Okay. The problem is that people have turned this place into a venue. Okay. Nottoway Plantation was a place of celebration, as it was built to be back then. So I don't respond to many people. I don't respond to many comments, but I did respond to this because I felt compelled to. And so this is what I said. It's the glorification of it all. Acknowledgement is one thing, glorification is another. As you see on the screen, she goes on to say, I hear ya, but to most they are glorifying the beauty and the magnificent building techniques. I certainly hope no one looks at a plantation and thinks, hell yes, slavery. But then again, this is a Trump society. So I get she was trying to like be like, yeah, but, and then, but still I align with you kind of thing. I think is what she was doing there. But I do have to say that I'm pretty sure that me, you, a lot of people know that we don't think people are looking at it and celebrating slavery, not linguistically. They won't say it, but by making this place a venue for celebrations. Well, yeah, kind of look like that. Okay. Kind of look like that. So my response to her, as you see on the screen, is whether or not they are. For us, as a race, we can feel the pain in our bones just looking at those places. The buildings are beautiful, but the ground oozes with the blood of the buildings are beautiful, but the ground oozes with the blood of our families, and it hurts. That is the split in viewpoint that many people are not understanding. Beauty is in our face, but at what cost? We know all about what slavery was like. You know, there was another lady who said that her father's family treated their slaves well, so well that they took on their last names and were buried with the family. I'm like, do you not understand? She thinks this lady, I didn't respond to this one because this lady believes that if Black people stayed in Africa, that we were going to be murdered anyway. And so I'm like, that requires you knowing the time, the place, and what exactly was going on. She was basically making it sound like we were saved by the British. What? Saved? What? So as you see, these people are living in different realms, whole different societies. So I digressed a little bit. My point is that I needed this lady to understand here that we can feel the pain of our ancestors still. Why? Because it's in us. They don't feel it. You know, there are people who don't feel it because their family may not have gone through this pain, did not go through this, but our families did. Okay. And I know I started the video saying that I, am a descendant of the Maroon tribe, and that still doesn't take away from the fact that I feel this. I can feel the pain, the discomfort, the sadness of these plantation of the grounds. Even like I live in the South. Like there are some times when I'm driving down the street in Florida that I'm just like, caught up in an energy that I'm like, this is not where I need to be. I cannot look over there. I can't look left, can't look right. I got to keep straight, read a book, look at my phone, do something else. Okay. Or if I'm driving, keep my eyes on the road. That's just how sensitive of a person I am. I can feel it. And so with the burning down of that place, the ancestors are calling out. That was a clear, blatant, loud call. And we all need to answer it. Save yourself. How? How do we do that? Highly recommend that you follow my podcast, Keep Expecting Miracles. We do have a wonderful series coming up where we are discussing Black women who are living in their gifts, using their spiritual gifts. Watch it. Follow us on YouTube so you can see that coming up. But the how, well, I'm going to tell you about my story. The how I've done it. How I got here. It is through dreams. Yes, through dreams. My grandmother's women who I don't recognize coming to me through dreams. It is the asking questions, right? Asking questions of God, what do I need to do here? How can I heal myself of this ailment that I'm feeling? Just asking the questions. How have my ancestors shown up? Well, they've shown up in my dreams. They have shown up in people who look just like them that are not them. People I see, I'll be like, Grandma, is that you? Because no, she's not. That's not her. But she looks just like her. Well, now who's on your mind? Now who's on my mind? My grandmother, right? So it's like there are these little reminders that remind you of where you're from, where you need to go back to. In order to fulfill our life's purpose, we need to practice Sankofa. Okay. As I said, my ancestors have come through dreams and everything, right? And when you're practicing the art of Sankofa, which is looking back so that you can move forward, I have had to delve and dig deep into my family history. I've had to get onto Ancestry.com. I've had to just get deep into my culture, eating the foods, cooking the foods, drinking the herbs. What practices do they do? What have I taken myself away from? Because, it's almost like I could say that it's like American culture to forget your culture. And so what I want High Vibe Herbals to be for you is a reminder of where you came from. A lot of the ingredients that I use are popular, but they have native roots in countries that you may be from. If there's a tea that speaks to you, find out why it's speaking to you. Find out why. So High Vibe Herbals, I wanted to serve as a reminder for you, the way that these herbs have been for me, the way that my ancestors have used these herbs to say, hey, Jess, look, remember this for us and do something with it. And so here I am doing something with it. Okay. As I said earlier, that herb for me was sorrel. It was the hibiscus, roselle hibiscus flower. And it took a while for me to hear that call and for me to see that. But look, for me, it's in the herbs. For you, and this is a start, right? This is a start by starting off with the plants that your family used to drink, used to use as medicine, foods that your family used to eat. And then once you're on that pathway, things unravel. Goes on and on and on and on. Okay. Every question that you ask unlocks another question. What is that going to be for you? I'm excited for you. I hope that you answer the call because they are calling. Okay. They are calling. The phone is ringing. Answer it. Say yes if you are brave enough. If you are not ready, it's okay. If you are not ready, it is okay. You will be ready soon. You are always protected. You are always divinely guided, whether you feel it or not. The only thing that you have to fight against, is your own perception. You are the only one that keeps you away from your own riches, from your own wealth, from your own wellness. It is just you. I promise. It is just you. It is just you. So I want you to ask the questions. I want you to remember who you are, who your family is. If you are someone who was adopted, if you don't know your blood family, spirit is eternal. God is everywhere, everlasting. Okay? Go to God. And that will be unlocked for you. Just make sure that you can hear the answers and you are able to respond to it and ask for clarity. Is this it? Usually when something happens more than once, that's when I'm like, oh shoot, this is the answer. Like when I was thinking about, how I told my ancestors and God, I often speak to them all at the same time. Jesus Christ, my ancestors, God, and so let me just say this. High Vibe Herbals is built on that, okay? Because there would be no High Vibe Herbals without that. I didn't do this myself. I couldn't be here talking to you myself. What? I didn't come up with none of this. This stuff is given to me. These recipes and all of this information is given to me, provided to me. Okay. So I said, you're giving this to me. You want me to take this out into the world, right? But what do I do? What do I lead with? how do I do this? And the answer continues to be hibiscus, sorrel, 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 hibiscus, hibiscus. And it's just shown to me over and over again, over and over again. Okay. When I was thinking about, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just, contact local restaurants and see if they'll sell my hibiscus lemonade? I could do that. And then I didn't make a move. And then I got a DM on Instagram that said, hey girl, we miss your lemonades. When are you going to be selling them? Are you going to be at any farmers markets, etc.? And I said, okay. My response, soon it'll be at your favorite restaurant nearby. I was like, okay, so we're doing this and we're doing it now. So I hope to one day soon come to you and be celebrating that that's where it is. And this whole road is exciting. And do you have the courage to be on this road too? I'm not telling you to become an entrepreneur and quit your job and go and follow where the ancestors are telling you to go like that. You're only going to be provided with what you're ready for. And you have to make it known. You have to tell God when you're ready. That's the whole thing that prayer is about, right? That's why you have to spend time meditating, on the word, meditating on the fact, like talking to God. Okay. You have to say what you're ready for. And after that, who knows what your life is going to turn out to be. Amazing. All right. As long as you let it. As long as you let it. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Tea Time with Jess. And remember, if you would like to shop my teas and extracts, you can go to my website, highvibeherbals.com, and you can use code YouTube for 10% off. I hope that you have a beautiful day. Allow yourself to have a beautiful day, no matter what happens in your day. Look for the lesson. Look for the pleasure. Wishing you sweetness in everything in your life. Bye.